Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. Good times. Scar here, bringing you another super rough on Minecraft episode. And in today's episode, we return to the Scarland Rollercoaster project to work on finishing the whole loop and track. So let's get this episode underway. All right, and welcome back to Scarland, where we take survival building to the extreme. And as you can see, our roller coaster is really coming along. We've got Bob, the building creeper inspector, inspecting all the different areas. Wow, there's actually a lot of them today. There's a lot of them out there, but look at all the progress we've had on the roller coaster as of late. We've got this hill all complete and ready to go. And of course, out in the distance, you can see that section in our last episode where we built that whole area throughout there. And now in today's episode, we're going to be working over here. We're going to be getting this all situated and ready to go and completing the entire loop of the roller coaster, getting the whole layout complete, which is very exciting. So yeah, let's get down there and go on a quick little ride to see how much we've gotten done so far, and then we'll get into it. All right, so let's call a car here and ride the roller coaster to the point where we have it here. So head on out and up we go. So as we're kind of rolling up the lift hill here, I want to talk about future, builds within Scarland. So we're a little bit past halfway with the roller coaster. We've gotten a really crazy amount done, but we have just a little bit left. But it's at this point now where it's time to think about what's next, what's to come within Scarland's next building project. So I have some small scale projects planned and things I really want to do on Twitch over the summer, but the next big project, what's that going to be? So I've got some ideas. So the first one I've been thinking about is a ranch style house. And then this would have barns and fields and all sorts of good stuff along with it. Also, a wizard's tower. Now, the wizard's tower would have, enchanting and all sorts of cool stuff, kind of a little castle with a big tower. So those are two projects I've been thinking about. So that's kind of A and B. So ranch house would be A, B would be wizards. C, this is your choice. This is the viewer choice. So I want you guys to decide if you really want to see the ranch or the wizards. Go A or B. Now, if you come up with something unique and original you want to, let me know about, go choice C, and then let me know what that would be. So as we're, watching and building, doing our good stuff today in today's episode, definitely think of what you would like to see for our next episodes. Coming up after the roller coaster, and let me know. You can let me know via the YouTube comments or on Twitter. I'll have a link, of course, to Twitter in the description of the video. So yeah, we're in the section that we completed in our last episode. Over time this week, I've added the powered rails and things of that nature down here, but it is looking super fancy. And as you can see in this section going down here, I've also added that off cam, just, some of the repetitive stuff that we were doing in our last episode. So following the same dimensions as this lift hill going up, I dropped that down going down through there. Now the powered rails on this lift hill here are spaced out by 2, and then there's a switch on the bottom giving it the power. So looking super fancy, and this is where we go down into the ground right here, and eventually we'll have this all terraformed and looking super fancy. But as we flow up here, I want to actually get off the minecart. Here we go. So I worked on this section too, just to kind of get a little bit of work done. And what we've done here is, spacing out. Most of the design is spaced out by 2, 2, 2, and then 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just kind of work it into a pattern that lines up symmetrical with that block in the center there, and then drop it down again, 3, 2, 2, and just find a pattern that most fits your design, bringing it up. So it's not any jarring, lift. So like we did up there, see how it kind of gently rolls down instead of any real jarring, go from, straight down to straight up. So it has a nice flow to it. So now we're going to the next phase. So I've been working very, very hard on the roller coaster, as you can see. This area, this is our next show scene within the roller coaster. So I've been slowly carving out this area, getting this all carved out and stuff like that. So slowly getting this area, worked on. I don't know what's going to be in these caves. I know some crystals. We're definitely going to do some crystal cave action. So that's going to be pretty cool. And get out of here. Get out of here. Got no time for you, spider. I did find a spider spawner, which is super rare in Scarland. But anyway, so once we come down here, we go up now. So then we do kind of a track that goes up and then spaced 1 over, and then 1 and then up. And you can kind of see that general pattern that kind of goes up here. So I did think this is nice just to give this area just a different feel than the turns and the kind of ups and downs. It kind of gives that sideways feel. And then it kind of drops down here and This is just kind of goes under the roller coaster station through here and then jumps back up right here. And then this is where we start to work. So once we go back up here, how we usually do, you know, a 3, 2, 2, 2, and then we're going to start working our way up here. So we're kind of in phase 4 of the roller coaster in this area. And we want to incorporate more twists and turns than drops than we worked on the other side. So we're going to be working with a lot more twists and turns on this side. So yeah, now we're going to start to kind of work our way up to the top here. And then we will start to kind of bring it down there. And I want to do that pattern that we did down there, that kind of diagonal pattern. I want to do that over there and around. And then from there, don't really have much planned. From that, we can just use our imagination to the rest of the video. I kind of wanted to get at least that pretty good, you know, chunk of, you know, stuff done back there. So we can really get this done. This project has consumed everything, all the resources within Scarland, most of my time. So it would be good to finally, you know, wrap this up and finally do the tour. So I've been working, you know, countless hours trying to get this all situated and ready to go. I also added the scaffolding on that side so we can get there a little bit easier once we start the curve up at the top here. But how do you like the roller coaster so far? Is it meeting your expectations? Are you enjoying the build? Are you is everything, you know, kind of as you expected? Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I know it's taken a little longer than expected, but the sheer size of it kind of took me by surprise in a way that I wasn't quite anticipating how long it would take to build some of these things. But hopefully you guys are enjoying it because I'm having a ton of fun. It might be taking a while, but it's also fun. It's like this whole discovery of kind of learning kind of some different designs and some really different things about how to build such a large scale project. It was kind of it was a whole kind of a new deal, like building such a large scale for YouTube. Usually the projects are a little bit smaller for YouTube, so they can fit within videos. But this one took a little longer than anticipated, but I think it's slowly coming out pretty good. So 1, 2, and then let's do one more set. There we go. And then from here, this is going to be a set of 3. There we go. Bring that up. And then let's see. Let's bring this one out to about 5. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Wonderful. All right. So let's jump down into our scaffolding. There we go. Awesome. And then let's jump on over here. And then let's see. Let's find our block right about. Come on. There you go. Let's see. Let's make sure that's even. Perfect. Wonderful. All right, let me get some scaffolding built up here. Looking good, looking good. And then let's see, we bring this one out to about 3, correct? And then let's bring this out. So this isn't going to be exactly how I anticipated. See, I was kind of lining this up a little bit earlier, so we'll probably have to readjust it a little bit, but I think that's probably going to be good. There we go, bring that down to there. And we've almost completed our loop. Almost. Let's see, one more block. There we go. And then we can start working it down like so. So yeah, so give me a couple seconds here. Let me kind of catch my breath and work that pattern all the way down, and then we'll work on that curve in just a minute. All right, and welcome back. Look at that beautiful sunrise over Mount Sky out in the distance. Looking super fancy. All right, so we're at this point over here. So let's swap that out for now. Let me grab that back. All right, so what we're going to be working on right here is we're just going to be kind of lining these pillars up on top of here. So I think this is going to be a good pattern for this lift hill to kind of pull you up this hill. And then when you come around, once we get to the very top, let me get to the very top here. Awesome. So right about right here, you kind of look out over the whole roller coaster. I think that's going to be a really cool view. And then we'll refine this. There's probably a few areas where we can kind of move it around just a small bit. But I think that's going to look good. There we go. And we're going to definitely need to go and get some more smooth stone. But once we get all the way down here, and then we can add the track. And then I think this will look pretty awesome. All right, let's swap that out. There we go. And grab that back. And then we'll just add our track to this. As you can see that pattern, how we go jump and then over the round and then like that. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Now, if you've been a long-time subscriber, you might recognize this current location that we're actually in. And this is where the old Scarland transportation system used to take you to the outer reaches of Scarland. So once we get all the way down here, now this section right here is a little bit funny. We might have to readjust that just a slight bit, but we're not really adding any real permanent fixtures that can't be adjusted a little bit at this point. Once we actually add the full track design like we did for the lift hill, that's when it's going to be a little more important that everything lines up perfect. But for the most part, I think that's going to be probably pretty good. There we go. And then let's use up as much of this track as we can. There we go. Let's work this all the way up. So after we get this settled, I want to show you guys that area because I had forgotten about it. It's been a long time since I removed the track for the roller coaster, or not the roller coaster, but the Scarland transportation system in this area. So it's been quite a while. But when I was bringing my track up there and I was kind of laying it out and stuff, I saw the old tunnel and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And we're just a little bit shy. So yeah, let me go get some more smooth stone and track and I'll be right back. All right, and welcome back. So I've done a little trial and adjust with the roller coaster and we've made a slight modification. So what I've done here is I've taken a block like this and like that and continued that pattern all the way up and just moved over the track one block and made everything go back in line how I wanted it. And originally I kind of had it a little bit messed up. So we fixed that up by just going like this and then just moving the track over here. So simple as that, got that all settled and ready to go. So here's that tunnel that I was talking about. So this is, if you remember the old videos of kind of going out into the far reaches of Scarland through the track there. So yeah, definitely let me know if you remember that. That's an old video that we took that ride on there. And it was actually my first video back from when I was gone for a very long time when I was very sick for a while. So I remember making a video kind of showing you guys that section and kind of letting you know where I've been. I think I only had like 2,500 subscribers back then. So that was a while ago. So that was way back in 2012. So that was quite a while ago, All right, so I'm gonna jump down on the scaffolding that I set up over here and we're gonna get right to work here. So right here, we're gonna go, let's see, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna drop her down. There we go, and bring this out to about 3, and then we're gonna do 2 sets of 2. There we go, and then we're just going to start bringing this down. So my idea for this particular loop out is we're gonna go way up there, woo, and then down, and then go another drop here, back up, curve, go back down underground, and then come around here, and then out of the ground right about there. So gonna start to get that settled and worked on. So we'll just keep on working. A lot of work to do today. So we'll just continue to kind of work on this section and bring it down here. And yeah, so I'm gonna see you guys at the top up there once I finish this loop. So we're gonna continue this pattern and the same pattern kind of bringing out the arch down below. And I'll see you in just a minute. All right, and welcome back. And as you can see, I've got some friends today. They're all coming over to play. Oh no, they knocked me off. Oh, look at them go. Look at them go. I love the pathfinding of the zombies. That's hilarious. They're just all like working their way down the steps. Anyway, as you can see, let's dodge, let's weave, let's move our way through the zombie pack. Oh, well, we got another one coming up here. Hey there, buddy. Want to see my axe? Yes, you do. All right, so let's get back up here. And as you can see, we've worked on getting this path all lined up and ready to go through here. So the roller coaster's now had its kind of curve as it flows through here. So what we've got here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at them. Here they come again. Oh, that's it? Only 3 of them this time? Only 3 of them. Let's all put them on the ground. There you go. Go play down in your playpen. All right, so let's swoop over here and let's knock out this block right there. So that's going to count that as 1, and that is 2, that is 3. No, wait, that's 3, yes. And then there's 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then let's see, what are we thought? What are we thoughts? What are we thought? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? I'm thinking something like that would be perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect, beautiful, wonderful. So I set some scaffolding up. Now this scaffolding might be a little bit far apart, but I think it'll be okay. All right, let's swap that out. Let's grab ourselves a little bit of dirt. There we go. What would we do without dirt, really? Dirt is like the most wonderful block in Minecraft. Like all the things that we wouldn't be able to build if it wasn't for dirt. You know, adding scaffolding and getting the platforms built for things. You know, what would we do without dirt, really? Dirt is so underappreciated. It's so sad. All right, so this is, let's bring this up here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful, wonderful. And then let's work this pattern out to about 3. There we go. Still want to keep it similar to that side over there. So we're just going to do a set of 2 going down. There we go. Awesome. And then let's do one more of that. Now we're at the point of going underground. So we're going to dip this into the ground. And now the question is, where do we want to come out? So once we bring this all the way down, once it goes under, it'll come out somewhere around there and then up. So I don't know. We'll kind of have to play with it a little bit to find the right area to bring it along. But I think it'll be at least kind of cool to have this go underground. Just have little areas. I just can't get any work done with these guys. Not one bit. Not one bit. They're just everywhere. At least I'm getting lots of XP today. Anyway, let's continue this pattern down. So once we get this all the way to the ground, and then it'll just become the point of just doing a bunch of grinding again. So are you back? You're back again. You're back again. Back to die. Back to die. Yes, you are. All right, so it looks like I'm back to the grinding bin here, guys. So I'm just going to continue to refine and keep working this roller coaster on. And yeah, so I'll see you in a couple minutes once we get underground. All right, and welcome back. So where we left off was right about there. So then we worked it all the way underground, carved out a little section. So just a basic, down 3, 2, 2, and then 4, and then brought that up, same pattern going all the way up to here. So now we're working our way up to the top here. So now let's start to add a bit of a pattern here. So we'll start to add this section going up like so. There we go. Looking good, looking good. So yeah, it's starting to come together and it's starting to get these little twists and turns just the way we like it. There we go. And then we'll bring that up to about there. So that's 3. So let's see, there's, do we want that? So it's 2, 2, 3. Actually, no, I don't know if I want to do that. Let's actually bring it to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's do it to 5. So I think I kind of laid out a little section for just kind of planning it out while some lawnmowers were going outside when I didn't want to record while that was going on. So I did some laying out, add some scaffolding and stuff. I think that's the pattern I want for that. So let's jump down here real quick. There we go. Jump on over. Looking good, looking good. And I love this part right here. This is going to be great because you'll dip around by the waterfall. You'll be able to see, Mount Scar out in the distance, all looking super fancy. But yeah, I think this section is going to be really cool. And I think that's an important part too, along with the ride, is also to plan out the sights you'll see. You'll be zipping by pretty quick, but just seeing like out in the distance, the fishing hut, Mount Scar, the bridges, different things like that, going next to the waterfall. That'll really add to the ride. That'll really add to the experience of going by these different items as you cruise by on your ride. So after we complete this, drop through here, so my idea is to bring it all the way down to about there and have a big loop kind of going across there. So a big circle kind of ends around right there, and then it dips back down, goes up, around, goes underground one more time, and then makes it back into the station. So that is kind of the flow that I think I worked out. I think I worked out that, and my goal is to get it done. I have to get the track laid out. It's been quite a few hours now working and planning and all that good stuff. So I really, really want to complete this and get it all situated and ready to go. But I think we're actually getting there. We're getting there. We are pretty close to having this all situated and ready. So like I said, we'll kind of work this pattern all the way down, do a little loop, make it to about right there, go around, underground, and yeah, so I'll meet you in a couple seconds and we'll finish this up. All right, and welcome back. It's been about 2 hours and I've got the entire loop complete. The whole roller coaster has been laid out and arranged in a pleasing manner. I've unable to record, unfortunately, quite a bit of it because there have been moving trucks in the front of the house. There have been lawnmowers and weedies and all sorts of crazy sounds that have made recording nearly impossible today. So I definitely apologize about that. And yeah, lawnmowers are like my arch enemy when it comes to recording and live streaming or anything along those lines. They are truly my arch enemy. You'd think jelly would be my arch enemy, but no, lawnmowers. So I've come up and devised a plan to attack the lawnmower situation. So have you ever seen the Swiss Family Robinson movie, that wonderful Disney movie from the olden days, where they had this trap and they put down like a little mat and then they put some palm leaves and different things on top of it to like disguise it like it's part of the jungle. So then when somebody would stand on that, then they would collapse into the pit. Well, that's what I feel like we need for the lawnmowers. We need to get that. We need to maybe put something in there. Maybe we could just put jelly in the pit too, and then we would solve 2 problems. Oh, that's all my iron. Well, I'm gonna have to go mine it again. But anyway, there we go. So let's take a quick loop down here. So this is one of my favorite parts right here. Where it just kind of like cuts right into the mountain right there. Oh, I love that. But anyway, so these little mats would be arranged all over my neighborhood. And then there'd be little holes and the lawnmower would be going by and just go right into the pit. We'd be done with it. No more lawnmowers. But anyway, this is the whole loop kind of flowing through here, looking super fancy. And one of the biggest things that that I really wanted to kind of emphasize while arranging this is good views. So when you come around here, you get little like hints of you know, the landscape, the bridges, the greenhouses, neat little trees, and of course, like you get a slight glimpse of the roller coaster station before you duck right into this mountain right here. And then eventually, we'll have this area all caved. We'll have all sorts of amazing details all throughout. Now, this took forever because if you remember, this used to be my wheat farm and my sheep farm. So I had to get rid of the wheat farm, the sheep farm, and then I had to get rid of all the sugar cane and some other things like the cocoa bean farm and stuff. So then the roller coaster goes through here, around the top. Hey, the creeper inspectors, I see that, oh, yep, they're coming on over. And then the roller coaster will flow all the way up to the top. And then there we go. We've made it to the end. So now we go into our next phase here of the roller coaster. We add all the detail. So, oh, that's a cool view. That'll be amazing once all the track has its, you know, decorative support structures all attached to it. That'll be really nice. That'll be a cool view from out here. And we'll do some nice terraforming along here. And yeah, well guys, I thank you so much for watching today, and hopefully you're excited as I am to finally finish up the roller coaster. Yeah, so until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and we'll see you later. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. That we did along there. Now we're going to start that all the way up this way again, and I'll meet you at the very top. Alright, and good morning here. This is quite a spot to sleep on. We're right on the edge here. Alright, so we've worked our way up from the bottom down there to here, and I'm starting to run out of our track, but we got enough, we got still enough. But that's pretty awesome that all the iron that we got out of our excavation project down in the cave has given us enough track to